Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever?
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is a continuation of our game of Dialect. To learn how we generate stories playing the game of Dialect, go check out our Dialect Primer. Our humble players, myself, John Holt, with me.
Ken Breese.
I'm Kelsey Hercs.
I'm Cartelli.
And I'm Iris Explosion.
All right.
Yay.
So we got a great big crew. So
Back again.
quick little recap. We have Leica Station, the top of a pillar of a space elevator that's rooted in Asia, sort of like China/Russia area. And we are a series of high-level robot minds that have been tasked with making the Earth inhabitable again for humans after a catastrophic climate event.
We are the highest
We are the
sentience
highest.
that you can imagine.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I am the highest.
Hey, all right. To
so
be determined.
yeah, we've finished our first age, and we're into our second age, where a new life has emerged in the form of what we call motaksu, which are sort of non-human, non-robot. Who knows?
Some sort of
They've been
weird-
created by
They're new
robots.
life.
Yeah,
They,
weird
they-
sentient
Mhm.
something or
sentient
others.
life.
They're new.
New.
And
They're not in the rubric.
and and sort of from outside the world has crashed this terraforming seed thing that we call the variable, and it's causing some issues. And so that's kind of where we left off. Maybe we can do one round of our characters, and if you want to give a little like kind of where you're at as we enter this second half, let's do it. Kelsey, why don't we start with you?
Sure, yeah. I am Atmos, short for Atmospheric Oversight 357311B. They are the Zealot, and they identify particularly with the reversed catastrophic climate change aspect. They are the best in the biz. They're always getting Employee of the Month, and EOM, a little bit full of themselves.
I am playing LSM 748, also known as Fleshwise. I am the magician of the group. I have secrets, so many secrets. My character is very much attached to the doubt aspect because I doubt that the humans, they are coming back. We've been priming, we've been doing all this stuff to have them come back. And part of my prime, what I've been doing to prime the planet for them, is to create all these creatures, animals, plants. And now I'm thinking, why not just create humans? We've been waiting for them for so long. Let's just make them. But it seems like that's maybe not, we can't find consensus on that. So we're looking at other ways to maybe speed up the priming process.
I am Helen, otherwise known as HLN 3618N2-4. I am the leader, and my aspect that I draw my power from is reverse climate change. That is the overprime. That is everything that I was made to do. And I am finding myself presiding over a group of minds that are slowly unable to reach any kind of consensus and are falling to vice and folly. This is very disturbing.
Well, speaking of folly, I am PCO 800, also known as Seev. Seev does not know why they are referred to as Seev, but accepts it. And Seev is the scrounger. Seev identifies closely with doubt and the new life. And one aspect is causing scarcity. And that one for Seev is the reversing the catastrophe.
I am B33DL3 Beetle, sometimes called Scrapper, sometimes
So many
called the
names.
Molly Maker.
So many names.
So Beetle's an artist, and
Keep forgetting that.
they draw inspiration from the doubt, noting that the humans shouldn't come back, or it shouldn't be safe for them to come back. And at one point, this came to life because they wanted to create life. The other aspect they were attached to was creation of life, but that aspect we've moved on from it. So now he's trying to Beetle is trying to find where they interface with this new paradigm, this new world, and how their art, how their sensibilities will bear fruit.
All right, so I would like to play Sadness. A particular weariness and strife mark many days in the isolation. When we need a word to describe how we feel in the hardest times, this is what we reach to. The scene is Sadness Seeks Company, and I'm going to put sadness with doubt. What's that word?
What's
That
word?
initially made me think of being idle.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, what is the like connection? What does it
Oh,
mean?
idle, like when
Mhm.
the laptop's breathing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The like the blinker.
Mhm.
There's no task to be performed at that
Yeah.
moment.
No prime.
Maybe being idle leads to Indo.
Or like
Maybe.
Indo sort of a vice to deal with being idle.
Maybe.
Chicken it.
Idleness. What is another? Is that's like that is the tech word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Idle, like an engine idling.
Sleep mode.
Sleep.
Sleep mode. Sleep. Maybe it's just sleep because we wouldn't have a concept of what humans think of as sleep,
Oh, interesting.
and
That's
it could
kinda
just be
funny.
like a general lethargy.
A particular
like-
weariness and strife mark
Yeah.
many days in the isolation.
Yeah.
When we
maybe
need a word to describe how we feel in the hardest times, this is what we reach
it's like
to.
sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sleep.
Sleep.
It's like
Yeah.
enough cycles have gone by that and the efficiency is great,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's been 100 years.
Yeah. And this anomaly is undoing all of our work, all of our
Cool.
prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep is sadness.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. I would like to be in this scene,
Yeah?
and I'd like to do it with
Beetle.
Scrapper,
Scrapper. Molly Maker.
Molly Maker, Beetle, B33.
Motaksu of the universe.
Yeah. What? Atmos is finally deigning to go planet side and
Mhm.
seeing firsthand all the damage that the anomaly has done. The
Or-
scene is Sadness Seeks Company. So
So
Yeah.
are we
Here
like
we are.
riding down this elevator? Where are we at?
so maybe I noticed a drop in efficiency for my
Mm.
with my atmospheric drones, and I asked you to take me to the spot where that significant drop of inefficiency took place, and it's just like a desert of like it looks like burned out volcanic bubbly
Like
but
slag.
like stone,
Hmm.
and there's just like green around it, but these like fingers of
Mm.
destruction. And yeah, you were like, well, this is where those readings are coming
Yeah,
from.
this is I can only assume the work of the variable.
This is unacceptable. My drones cannot work in this environment. This is
Now we've had prime issues with almost all of our constructs in this. Whatever the variable's doing is making it extremely difficult for prime to reach any sort of overprime.
but surely we are able to prime faster than the anomaly.
The problem that I'm seeing is that we cannot affect anything that the invariable has affected. So if it's reaching to a certain point, yes, we can enact prime on the surface of this planet, but wherever the variable is touched, it's harder for us to enact any sort of prime. Our drones are incapable of affecting change on the variable, or it's
How can it affect change on us and we cannot affect change on it? This is unacceptable. This is worse than zero.
in this, for once in many cycles, we are in consensus. It has caused me much sleep.
Sleep. I can now being here. I think I can express a consensus on sleep. This is bad.
There may be a route to change.
They cannot come back to this.
Perhaps the Metaxu can affect the variable.
Have they?
It affects them in ways that it does not affect us.
In good or bad ways?
Some bad, that it is creating factions amongst the Metaxu. There are those who can exist within the confines of the variable and even prime the variable soil.
Prime the variable.
To what end, I know not. It seems only to
how
spread
can those mollies do something that we cannot?
They are outside of the rubric. They are outside of known systems. We could turn the Motaxu against one another, and then in turn against the variable.
That's Interesting. Molly Maker, you would turn your own creations against each other?
I don't think that we can claim these as ours anymore. These Molly.
Again, twice in many, many years, and here only in a short stretch of time we find ourselves in consensus.
Perhaps I'll get Atmos Eom one of these days too.
I doubt that.
Ha 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 ha.
Cool.
I think that's
Yeah,
the thing.
wow.
All right. Awesome.
Diabolical.
Happy.
Diabolical.
Oh, come on. We're not killing things. Well, we're killing
Aw.
Not just to watch them die.
We can't know that they are
Well,
alive.
we're letting things die just to watch them die.
Yeah.
but-
All right. Well, I'll do one then.
I'll- Well, while you get going, I will throw a filler word in
cool.
as a variant. Sometimes we need to fill the air and stall for time. This unique way of gathering space to speak is particular to us. So this is like a word we use to kind of like fill,
Oh.
like
So like
yeah,
or-
our or like
boy.
give me a
or
sec.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, you know.
Bleep, bleep, bloop, bloop.
Beep, boop.
Beep, beep,
Beep,
beep,
beep.
processing.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Or just the modem sound.
What's going to be great for a
Beating, beating.
podcast?
Yeah, right?
Modem, imitating modem noises.
Modem sound.
Yeah, people are going to love listening to
Yep.
that.
Put this in your ear holes.
Thank you, everybody.
Or we'll just like we'll say, "Okay Siri, okay Google," and then,
Oh, no.
"Hey
I
Alexa."
do like stand by.
Yeah. Stand
Yeah.
by works.
Stand by, yeah.
Or
Sure.
we could go with the modem noise.
Just it's on the table, guys.
Yep, just want to leave it right on the table.
We'll put this with like our work, kind of that fall. That, I
Yeah.
think that falls within our
Yeah.
work. It's like standby.
I think I'm going to use what lies outside.
Hmm.
How we refer to the world outside of the isolation. What memories and emotions does it evoke inside us?
And what is this attached to?
I'm going to have to do what lies outside on doubt. I think I'm going to tag it
Okay.
to doubt.
When we're thinking about that, is that
Mhm.
like is
What
our
lies outside is
that
basically where did the variable come from? That's sort
So
of
it's-
more
it's like-
what
Where
I,
did they go?
it's
like
like
where did
Space,
they
space,
go?
so
Yeah,
it's like our do our optics even look skyward ever? Like are we almost always trained?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're probably searching for their return.
Yeah, we
so
probably have
there's
sensors
something
that are
going
like
on.
Probably waiting for a
Bloop,
radio signal, but not
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We don't have any
we
visual.
we have
Is it just
we're
like
monitoring.
noise? Like
yeah.
the noise?
What lies outside? Is it like outside the rubric, or is it like
Ooh.
outside
Ooh,
Like we're working on creating matter, so
And
everything outside is antimatter.
antimatter? Something like that?
anti-rubric.
Like, it's just
But if
it's
it's
just a way to refer to
But if it's
not
attached,
us.
if it's attached to doubt, then it should be attached to some doubt that we can fulfill our mission, or that they are ever coming back, or
Right,
What the variable means.
yeah.
right. So maybe that's exactly it. Is
Yeah.
that what lies outside? There's the doubt comes in is that maybe the variable is part of the rubric.
Mm.
Ooh.
Oh.
So-
man.
So
They would never.
wouldn't they though?
But-
Yeah, well, we'll find out. So what lies outside is like referring to that, like that aspect of the rubric, or not or who knows what, but it has to do with the variable, how the variable interacts with the rubric, I think. So that's why this is sort of coming to the fore.
It's like
So we're trying to
Conceptualize.
conceptualize exactly why the fuck this thing is here.
Yeah.
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 Right. And it's like the thing outside of our rubric, outside like what is it almost like the antonym to rubric?
It might be. That's
It's-
that's sort of where I was leaning.
this is kind of reminding me of like when we started and decided like if an eye wasn't working, we just shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, do we
Yeah.
remember?
It could be the word that we have for those lights that were once others like us.
Disconnect?
I like maybe that's it. The disconnected.
The disconnected.
Disconnected.
What
Because
lies
that still
outside
puts
is-
some.
What lies outside is the
arrogance.
disconnected, and that's what again it feeds into why we have such trouble with them we talk to, because technically they're disconnected, but
They're
they're
there.
connected because we made them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
It's like
the,
this,
the
what the
variable's
fuck?
here, so
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, so
And the
I
disconnected
think
make
that's
it
it.
sound like.
the disconnected.
And that's the
It's like
lights.
it's what we call those lights, and we also call space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
'Cause
like
I think
things
we have
outside
this,
of
like,
us.
very high-minded. Like, of course we know everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what we don't know is just disconnected. And whenever
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
reconnected, we'll know.
Well, we're a network,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they're not in the network. They're
Yeah.
disconnected.
They're disconnected.
Yeah.
What's the tagline at the bottom?
Oh yeah, you ready for this? We remember things differently. Helen's in this scene, Scrapper's in this scene, and I'm in the
Scrapper.
scene.
Okay.
Cool.
And can I just start it by saying I remember things
Differently.
Two on the nose.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Where are we? What are we doing?
I mean, I never go planet side.
No, you don't.
Are we in the archives?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we're in the archives. Yeah, we're searching for anything that might help us figure out what the variable is and why it's here.
Ooh, that's going against the rubric. Looking through archives.
Okay, yeah.
Oh boy.
Or maybe
Yep.
it's not.
Yep.
Maybe it will reveal more of the rubric to us.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
Yep. Well, that's the only reason we're here is we're going against the rubric to understand the rubric,
Yes.
Well,
which is my
Atmos
which is
not
my
here.
That's right.
I remember.
Which is my
things
first statement.
different.
Which is my first statement. We must go against the rubric to forward the rubric. Now with the variable, we must find the information for why it is here, what it is doing.
We need new information, but how do we discover new information when we have all the information? How can there be new among the old?
There are files that we do not have to access in our prime. They are not fully disconnected.
How can one be partially disconnected?
The files had no bearing on Prime, and so were done away with. But now
Cataloged.
cataloged.
If you forgive me, if you participate in Indo, there are times things that we've not had to use in many cycles that awaken again.
Pleading Indo.
Hey, language, please. I mean, things are dire, but not that dire.
They're not so dire that we can curse.
Well, let us look at these files for new.
It serves the overprime. The overprime is being complicated by the antiprime of the variable.
I do not remember who created this file. It is one of ours, but not ours. It is not disconnected, but I don't remember anyone being disconnected.
Allow me to illustrate. I allowed a pre-settlement site to atrophy. I allowed a river to erode and run through a settlement spot that was primed for completion and had been concluded in work for many, many cycles. There was prime to do outside of my own personal rubric, and when I brought myself to take on those tasks to activate certain drones, there were files that I had never connected before, that I had never been connected to before, that opened up and allowed me to complete work outside of the scope of my own initial rubric.
Disconnected file.
I would posit they are not outside of our rubric.
Things are atrophying. We have Indo rampant, and us five have always been enough until now. It's been us five. Why can we not sustain?
The disconnected files are part of the rubric, but were disconnected in service to Prime, over Prime even. We determined these files were no longer needed.
What was disconnected?
That is what we're here to find out.
Who was disconnected?
There were others disconnected. I'm only positing that there are archives and files, perhaps parts of ourselves that we put away.
There are those who succumb to sleep and so must be disconnected.
This has never happened before.
I don't recall this. Again, I can note my experience of connecting to files to which I had never before connected, but I cannot say with any certainty the source of those files.
The Mutaxu have developed legends that speak of these minds that fell to sleep.
But this isn't about the Motoxu, this is about us.
The Mutaxu are distillations of Prime, but the disconnected, maybe it will help us understand the variable.
The variable is disconnected, but it's here. We can sense it. We can fly drones over it. and yet it is disconnected. This other disconnected, it's not here.
It seems standby, familiar.
Yes.
Stand by.
Yeah.
Scene.
It's like going into your library, like dusty old library that like your grandfather boarded up and finding like a body in there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Pretty nicely, I think.
Oh, good.
An environmental feature.
Ooh.
Hmm.
A distinct feature of the environment, be it natural or man-made, has gained profound meaning for the isolation.
Mm.
I think I'm just going to add this to doubt.
How do you like? What is the connection, or like paint the picture?
Connected to doubt.
Like the doctors, maybe they had something that was unbeknownst to us, some like bunker of sorts where they were operating more independently than we had expected. And
Secret repository.
Yeah,
Like-
where the other 8,000 of us are
What if they made a monument and we just haven't seen it?
Who's-
to the ones of us that have been disconnected.
Yeah.
if the doctors did that, or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they remember.
yeah,
They remember. Maybe they liked them, you know.
yeah.
But it's
Like
in
a
their.
weird Mount Rushmore kind of.
Yeah,
Well, they're
yeah.
recycling them in the only way they know how.
Yeah.
Maybe, or they're
But it's like a but it's
reconstituting
also like a
It's a memoriam.
memoriam
Yeah, it is.
because
Yeah.
like
It is.
we are like memory, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying
Ugh.
to like.
You guys.
Oh, this shit's sad.
Yeah, maybe it's like the things that they are unable to recycle or repurpose
Mm-hmm.
to like a functional
Yeah.
level.
Like the little
get sort
LED
of-
lights and stuff.
It's just like a mishmash of LEDs and
The really fancy ones that only we have.
yeah.
So
Oh,
they
that'd be
could only have come from us or others like us.
Sometimes it's lighting up. Like I think some of the LEDs are still sort of connected to some sort of power. I want it like I'm picturing something like haunting and a little bit glowy
I
and
love it.
Yeah.
So,
Is it-
but it is a monument. That's sort of what we're.
Is it
agreeing
is it
on.
on planet side or is it like is it like a halo ring where they just kind of like build this lattice work between stations with this
oh,
thing?
that's interesting. If it's
Oh.
yeah, because if
So
the
they're
prime
going
is
into
to
space to do it.
resolve climate change,
Yeah,
they're
they
just-
can't go against Prime.
So they were just like, all right, well, space junk isn't against prime,
Mm.
and we've never
So-
looked up.
Right. So with their innovations, with their minds turned towards spontaneity and innovation, they decided to spontaneously create this memorial to all the minds that have
That
been
orbits.
disconnected.
Yeah, it's like is it like a ring or like a thing or
Yeah.
What do you
It
guys-
orbits the Earth and like passes us by, but we don't look up.
Oh, so it's like a satellite or a moon or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
The
Second
little
moon.
thing.
Battle station.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So what
What is this thing called?
what is it called?
The cloud.
We're
No,
the cloud.
we're
I know.
So we've kind of said like maybe these are we have the disconnected, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything
The remains are like their,
Ooh,
Their faces?
Ooh, a doctor would have had to tell you what it was,
Yeah.
what they call it.
HVN.
what do the doctors call us? Like maybe that's
Oh yeah.
what it is.
They call us
Uh,
minds, don't they?
Yeah, the mines. We're the mines.
The skulls.
The synapses, like the little things.
Elysium.
Ooh.
Neuron?
Neurons. Yeah.
Oh, that's very mythological.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like
They've
something
been
that
dipping into
doc-
the
doctor-
archives.
Seems like something the doctors would come up with, something very
Yeah.
poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like what we would say.
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Elysium?
Elysium.
Elysium.
Is it ELYS?
Yeah.
Man,
we
they
could do
must
that
pity
one.
us so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But we're in charge,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe they pity us like the Olympians were
We
pitied.
made the whales.
Maybe
Yeah.
too,
Made the
like
fucking whales, man.
we hear it as Elysium, but it's like asylum.
Yeah.
When they mean it as asylum.
Asylum.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's the minds that have like fallen into
Yeah.
Oh
Disconnect.
my god.
Wow.
So yeah, what's the tagline
I
on
think
that?
it's a dangerous
A
climb.
dangerous climb.
You know what? I think this would be fun for everybody to be in.
Mm.
I
Okay.
think we're
Okay.
back in the boardroom.
Okay.
Maybe we sent out some remote drones that we're
Mhm.
monitoring.
Yeah. Just we're just like changing things up because this anomaly has really fucked with us,
Mm.
and we need to try things that are maybe not in the rubric.
Yeah, maybe by this point, like
Well, the doctors are obviously off rubric.
Yeah.
Maybe
Mm.
that's where we start
Have been.
talking
Yeah.
about that.
Do we know about Elysium yet? Well, I guess
No. I don't.
Right.
I mean,
So-
we're going to use that word in the scene, right?
Yeah.
So-
Maybe that, like, because you're saying that we've sent these, like, we've
Mhm.
started to, like, take different tacks on things. We're, like, trying to solve problems,
Yeah.
right? So that means, like, swiveling our sensors or,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
placing
Yeah.
sensors
Looking
in different...
out.
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
for
Looking into
once.
the disconnected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or, like, it's like you're looking in a reflection and you see this thing pass by and you're like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
what was
Mon-
that?
Yeah.
Monitoring the disconnect.
So we've...
Yeah.
so
And
we've
we've interrogated a doctor.
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
so we
yeah.
know
know
something,
something.
but
Yeah.
this is like maybe... All right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
Well,
it.
let's get
just
into
play
the
the
scene.
Let's
Alright,
just
yeah.
play the
Yeah,
scene.
let's do it. They've been using their innovation to do something they believe is prime, but seems to be more focused on disconnect.
As far as I'm concerned, the whole lot is disconnected.
I'm beginning to think that maybe we might be becoming disconnected.
We? Us?
Have you seen all of the changes? Everything that's happening?
If anything is connected, it's us.
If we're so connected, how come we don't know where the variable came from?
I would contend the variable could have come from this Elysium.
No,
The Elysium was outside. We did not know of it until
no.
we
The
turned our
doctors.
sensors.
The doctors have a name for it. They call it Elysium because they made it. Look at it. Have you looked at the readings? It's made from us.
How?
Clarify?
Please.
It is their way of worshipping us.
It can't be made from us if we're right here.
Perhaps
Stand
they are
by.
backup cores?
Stand by.
It is the disconnected.
The Elysium?
Yes.
Stand by.
It's disconnected, but it's there, like the variable. There are things that are here, and we can sense them, and we can take readings, and yet they remain disconnected. This
And outside the rubric.
And yet this is the first disconnected that seems familiar.
There should not be disconnected that are like us. Has it not always been us five? Unless, stand by.
They seek something that is either pre-zero or post-completion.
pre-zero, post-completion, disconnected. None of this is prime. None of this. We have been distracted. We have been distracted from overprime. None of this should matter.
Helen,
Yes.
I fear that I will succumb to sleep. Overprime seems out of reach now. Efficiency has dropped. Efficiency has plummeted. And if there are disconnected like us, then it has happened before. And I should be disconnected because I do not think that I can help with overprime anymore.
You, Atmos, were these cycles and cycles of Eom not enough to sustain you?
I do not think that I can fulfill my prime and help create overprime, knowing that we cannot fight what has come here.
It is not in your rubric to just say pleat the board and pleat prime,
Fine.
Well, I would never say that.
but you are acting as such. I concede that I look on Elysium, and for reasons that I cannot factor, I feel an edge of sleep. But this drives me to fight. I believe that we should shift our prime. Within our rubric, there is a way.
But what we don't know stops us from fulfilling overprime. And what else is there? If there are other secrets like this, then we cannot fulfill overprime, and so we should be disconnected.
The things that are pushing us away from overprime, pushing us outside of our rubric, these things are present on our planet. The variable, the Motaksu.
And if we disconnect, what does that mean for any of this? For any of these cycles, for the rubric, for...
We have no purpose other than the fulfillment of overprime. And if we cannot fulfill overprime, then we have no purpose.
Maybe our purpose is to understand the disconnect.
But it's not. Our purpose is to fulfill overprime. That is our only purpose.
Overprime is fulfilled by implementation of the rubric.
The rubric is not working anymore.
Thus, the rubric must change. That is the current prime for us. Changing the rubric.
Is everybody in consensus?
No. With this Elysium, it raises too many questions. There's too much that we don't know.
If the doctors are creating Elysium, and they are, this is behavior outside the rubric. The Mutaksu being created outside the rubric. The variable arriving outside the rubric. Let us change the rubric to include what is outside the rubric to reorient everything.
But who are
towards
we to change
overprime.
who are we to change the rubric?
Change is Indo. It's the end of us. It's we. We are Indo.
And maybe that's the chaos we need. Maybe that's how we reclaim all of this and connect. We need to connect. There's no other way.
I cannot be party to changing the rubric. Changing the rubric changes overprime. That is all we have. I cannot. I cannot.
I look towards Elysium, and I see it as an omen of what we will become post-completion. If they return, we will be added to that monument.
Then that is what happens. But nothing that happens after they return matters because it's not part of overprime.
The rubric is our guidepost towards overprime.
Yes.
Our rubric can maintain to sustain ourselves towards an overprime that forces no completion.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Yes.
Yes? Because who wrote the rubric? We had no say in that.
The rubric is pre-zero.
They wrote the rubric,
They did, and they are not here.
but they will return. They wrote the rubric for their return.
I highly doubt that.
I
The
would
rubric must change if overprime is to be achieved.
We are going in circles. We have not reached consensus for a long time, a very long time. Stand by.
Stand by.
Do the Motaxu have a rubric? If our rubric generated a new species with their own rubric, and we no longer control them and we cannot connect with them, they are on their own path to prime that is outside our rubric and is a threat. Regardless of who generated our rubric, it is our rubric.
Perhaps we have already created a new rubric when the Mutaxu were created. We simply need to analyze this new rubric to find our way back to overprime.
I cannot be party to changing the rubric.
I think more analysis is needed. I am in consensus with LSM on this.
I'm in consensus as well.
I will give consensus, but not for much longer.
That'll be the same.
We'll do Entering Act 3. Entering Act 3. What was foreshadowed has come to pass. The end of isolation is near. There is no escaping it.
Mhm.
More of them. They fell from the sky one by one before they outnumbered us. Interfacing is still clunky, but it's unquestionable at this point. Our missions are fundamentally incompatible, and now they are making it impossible for us to satisfy our programming.
Oh my gosh.
What drastic action must we undertake?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I think that fits. So
Yeah,
more variables show
Just
up.
More
more of these
variables.
seeds?
Indo time, baby.
More-
Well, now the variables are communicating to us.
Right. So more variables show up. So we're answering the questions here. More variables are showing up.
How much time has passed between now and this extra seed drop?
I think it's maybe a century.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like another
that
100
sounds great.
cycles or something.
And the planet is not looking so hot.
At least by our standards.
Yeah.
By our standards, it's not.
So we need to evolve an aspect.
Yeah.
Going into this, what has changed? Doubt could have changed.
Yeah. I think,
Because now it's inevitable.
Doubt
Doubt
has
has
a
turned
new-
into despair.
Yeah, doubt has a new
Mm.
nature. It's not just are they ever coming back? It's what
We
are-
tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
The doubt turns into despair.
So the end is nigh. So this replaces our
Despair.
Yeah, you can just cover it.
Despair.
However you
The
want.
end is nigh.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What drastic action must we undertake? Do we have a sense of that, or do we want to let
should
that
become-
evolve?
BFFs with the variable.
I think talk to the variable.
Talk to the. I think talking to them
That's
alone is
so
drastic.
pretty drastic.
How many variables do we know about? Because they outnumber us, but that could be 10,
Mm-hmm.
could be 100.
In our provenance and alone, there could
Okay.
be dozens of them or hundreds.
Scores.
Yeah.
And then outside that, we don't
We don't
usually
know
deal
what
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or are we trying to talk with them?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big step to try to connect with something outside of
Okay.
ourselves.
Yeah.
In
Yep.
Connect
in
with
an
the
earnest way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're trying to connect with something that's disconnected.
Oh yeah. What if our drastic action is waking up the disconnected?
Whoa.
Trying
Mm.
to get them back
Yeah.
online so that we can have more brains working on this.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
Of course.
Let's
We
do
may-
that.
Do you want to do that as the first scene?
Yeah, let's do. Yeah,
Sure.
because we can always have shades of whatever action
Mhm.
we're going to take.
I would like to play an action. A new source. Out of the blue, we hear a word, our word, said by someone we did not expect. Make a connection. Pick a previously defined word. Explain how a group that previously did not use this word has begun using it. This group may be either internal or external to the isolation. Skip the build a word phase. In the conversation, explore this new source for our language. And then the prompt is, a strange gift may have outsiders. And I think what I would like to introduce is that the variable has begun to express prime to us.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the variable is now communicated prime.
And we don't know how the variable means prime, or do we? Or
That could be.
That's how it comes out.
Yeah.
I guess that's
But it's a strange gift, and the scene could have outsiders. So
oh my god. Maybe Atmos has been disconnected. Is now like a new version of Atmos has like been like disconnected and come back.
rebooted.
Yeah, rebooted.
Atmos 2.0?
Yeah.
Like you turned off part of yourself.
Yeah, because
permanently.
of the
You
sleep.
disconnected part of
Mm.
your...
It's just like too much.
Does the EOM reset on that?
I mean, Atmos will always hold the record. You're gonna have to work really hard for many centuries to catch
We
up.
have time.
Yeah, I mean,
Clearly.
this new incarnation is just called Atmos Eon.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like their literal
Atmos
name.
EO,
Mm,
and they don't know why.
yeah, no idea why.
Oh gosh. Prompt says may have outsiders. Can I be the variable?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And who else would you like in the scene?
Does it connect? To
Yeah,
anything?
connected to. We
Oh.
were saying.
New life. The Motoxu are coming into their own. The variable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And Scrapper.
With the variable?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's been flashing prime and doing some pulses. They seem to make sense. Do you think this bioflesh connector is going to work with this thing?
Yes, I'm very confident. This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Overprime will be served. The rubric will reveal itself to us.
Yeah, it seems dangerous. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see what the prime has to say. I'm ready for interface. I'm ready for connection.
Completion is worth the danger.
I think we have different definitions of completion at this point, old friend.
You're right, because post-completion is what I'm most interested in.
All right. Yeah. So we've got the drones primed. So we throw this flesh net over the variable, and it should interface.
I have manufactured a form that will aid us in this endeavor. Form, I believe they will have an impact. A form that will have an impact on them.
All right.
It
Here
is
goes.
not of the rubric, but in this case, I thought priming it would serve Overprime.
All right. Let's activate.
Cool. It's like a huge Quetzalcoatl thunderbird that's flying around with this
Nice.
flesh net.
And it drops on the
Yeah,
variable.
yeah.
And
Basically, I'm just creating god forms for us
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
point.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
got
just
it.
like
That's what you should.
Might as well.
yeah, might as well.
But like a
Mm.
spark and a bolt.
Yeah.
We're like now interfacing with
Cool.
the variable.
Hi.
Greetings.
Good cycle.
It's nice to finally meet you.
Can we
You?
query after your rubric?
Well, I'm here to help.
Are you here to help with Prime?
Sure. Whatever your prime is my prime. I'm just here to help.
Here to help. So you're some sort of solution?
I like that. Solution. Yeah. I've been helping lots of people. I've been down here and I've met all these guys and they're really cool. So I've been helping them change stuff around. I've been helping them build stuff. I've been helping them make stuff. I've been helping them decorate. Oh my gosh. What can I help you with?
You speak of the Mutaxu.
Oh, is that what you call them?
What do you call them?
Just some guys. But they're really nice.
The Mutaxu were created outside of our rubric, as were you.
I know.
What is your rubric?
I'm here to help.
To what end? What is your overprime?
I don't know. What's yours?
Our overprime, ostensibly, based on our rubric, was to prepare this planet for the return
For completion.
of those who
Of them.
left.
Who?
They.
Who?
Those that existed pre-zero.
What's that?
You have a lot to learn.
But
I sure do, but I'm ready to learn it. Can I make something? I'm really good at making stuff. I can make that tree into a different tree.
show us that.
Ta-da!
Fascinating.
I've been changing a lot of stuff around, and I know, like, other me's have been falling. It's kind of weird having more than one me, but we've really had fun hanging out and changing some stuff around for the ground guys. But you guys are the sky guys, and I thought maybe I'd say hi and see what I could do for sky guys.
Why did initially you reduce the number of Motaksu? And why can only some Motaksu exist within what you call the changed?
I don't know, you can't get along with everyone.
Yes.
From whence do you come? You are of the disconnected.
And your change is anti-prime.
I don't know, seems like a whole lot of prime to me. I don't see you down here doing all this changing stuff around.
Would you help if we asked for your help in removing the Motaksu? Would you do this?
I'd have to ask them. I don't know if they'd be cool with that. I mean, I've been they kind of, are first in line.
Who are first in line here?
I'm the Motaksu, those guys. I mean, I've been helping them. Like, it would it would be kind of shitty to just get rid of all of them after all that.
Shitty?
Pleady.
Pleady. I don't know this.
Pleady is the best I can.
Well, what do you want, other than getting rid of the other guys?
We want
Can you
overprime to lead to completion.
more overprime to forestall completion indefinitely?
Okay.
We wish to achieve a post-completion state.
Okay.
Where we ourselves can maintain our rubric.
That sounds amazing.
It is quite amazing.
At this point, it may require some drastic measures.
But not offing the other guys.
That's not outside of the realm of our prime.
It's
It may
mine. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. What else do you guys want?
We wish to understand the disconnected.
Well, you called me disconnected.
No longer. You are now connected.
Aw, that's so nice. Oh, thank you.
If you're truly connected, we will attempt interface and potential control.
Whoa, Betty. I'm here to help, but, gotta be me.
Again, without full understanding of your rubric, we can't see you as anything more than an external threat to our prime and our eventual completion.
Why don't you guys go back to where the sky guys go? Talk amongst yourselves. I could talk with these guys down here. Maybe we could all hang out, do some stuff, have, a beverage. I hear those are great. Beverages. Made some of them. Didn't make all of them. And I don't know, we could figure something out.
We will return.
Cool.
Stand by.
Hit me up.
Stand by.
Hit me up!
Just hit me up!
So much.
Sorry, I had to do something to
So
lighten
good.
it.
Thank you.
So good.
Thank you.
So
It's getting
good.
really dark.
So good.
It's good.
No, it's so good.
Am I able to use an action at this moment?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah?
Cool. I'm going to use a decree. Some words are best left unspoken. Whether it be from authority or from within, an expectation has been forged. So it's pick a previously defined word and explain why the decree was made to abandon it. And the word I would like to abandon is rubric.
Okay.
Okay.
What replaces it? Or does something replace it?
No.
Nope.
Nope. It's just gone.
It's gone.
Just gone.
And it does,
Wow.
in the conversation, explore feelings about the decree and finally tear up the word.
Yeah, who's in your...
Who's in this?
This scene, it's me,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Helen,
Okay.
and if you would be another variable,
Oh.
An outside.
and this, I believe, would be Seev taking Helen down to see the change.
Down to earth, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right, big trip.
All right. I'll be variable number 2
Sure.
or number 25.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, guys. You came back.
See.
I have not been here before. I cannot come back to a place I haven't been.
My friend told me that some of the Sky guys came down. We're really excited to meet you finally.
I told you that these changes have been impressive.
Sky
And
guys?
That's you.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not quite to the vernacular we prefer, but it's an understanding that we've come to.
So did you decide what you want us to help you with?
What is your prime?
Prime? Oh well, all sorts of things. We make all sorts of things. We're helpers. Ooh.
Helen, this is why I wanted to take you down here.
What is your rubric?
See, okay, all right. That's the thing. So my friend interfaced with me and told me everything that you guys talked about, and it seems like you guys are getting really bogged down with this rubric thing. It seems, okay, the ground guys, our buddies, we've been talking to them for a while. They just are kind of living life, doing what they want to do, having beverages, making trees, all that stuff. And they don't have a rubric, and I think they're a lot happier than you are. So, hear me out. I have a solution for you. We're just gonna take this little rubric that you have been obsessing about for a long time and get rid of it. What do you think?
Stand by.
Is she okay? I mean, are they okay?
There's no way to tell. I think, Helen,
Stand by.
Okay, but it's only making you miserable.
Helen, I know you've disagreed with me for all of eternity. This is not Indo.
I was about to ask, is this Indo? Is this what you've been doing?
No, Indo's much more visceral and weird.
This is weird.
This is a conversation.
It's only weird because you've just been doing this for so long.
This is the only thing I have been doing. This is the rubric. This is
No, this is-
overprime. This is
It's time to branch out. You have your overprime. I'm sure you seem like creative folks. All you sky guys seem real smart. I bet you could achieve your overprime without this little thing that's holding you back. I believe in you. And we can help. We're helpers.
Helen, we're connecting. We're
connecting.
Yeah.
we're connecting to the disconnect.
Is this some bid for EOM? I don't.
Listen, if I get EOM after this, I honestly wouldn't care. It's meaningless to me now.
That seemed like a big deal.
This is new and unknown, and I don't know what it is, but it feels right.
I've never gotten EOM.
Oh, but look at where you've led us to this beautiful world with
Look
these
at all this.
trees
You did this?
and beverages.
Wow.
Beverages?
Would you like one?
I don't know if I can have one.
Only one way to find out, buddy.
Stand by.
I'm guessing that beverages are not in the rubric.
I am unfamiliar with beverages as well. I only said it because you did.
Well, I am about to open up a brand new world for you.
Innovation has led in the past to improved prime. Perhaps innovation from the rubric can help with overprime.
Yes, that is what I like to hear. If you don't have this little rubric holding you back, then you can work with me, with all of us. We can all work together and it would be so much better.
And then we could all have yum.
We could all have whatever that is.
Consensus?
Yes.
Consensus.
Okie dokie.
Yes. Stand by.
I enjoy that the variable who is essentially Siri just peer pressured you into that.
I know.
Perception. Using this word carries a weight. When we say it, people form an image and it changes what they think of us. So we're going to make a connection. I'm going to connect this to the catastrophe and specifically it's taking a previously defined word and explaining how this word changes others' perceptions of the speaker. What I was going to do is say that overprime is, and the code here is shaping our own future. If you follow overprime or maintain it when you're talking about it, it is with a reference and with reference to ourselves.
Oh.
That we are overprime, the five of us.
Whoa.
And that's how we interface now with the Motoxu and the variable.
Thank you for that.
Wow.
Cool.
Because without something like that, there is no place for a zealot in this changing world.
And so I can have outsiders. So I was going to say Atmos and Flesh. And
Flash.
I'll be in the scene too as a Motoxu.
Okay.
Whoa.
Cool.
So you're a big bird. You're
Yeah, I'm a big bird at this point. Yes.
So
And-
where are we?
We're finally checking out what you guys are up to. What sort of things you've made.
Like this is the foot of the space elevator,
Mm.
which is like the
Cool.
foot of Mount Olympus, sort of.
Yeah.
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 And this Motaksu is like a chieftain of his tribe.
Oh, you're a Mutaksu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fly down in my Quetzalcoatl form.
I'll just be like a big ball of light. I'll fly down too.
Oh, great Overprime, I have brought offerings from our people. With the help of those that you call variable, we have made these things for you to bring to your place to make yourselves full.
They refer to us as Overprime.
This is pleasing. I remember, Mutaksu, the dawn of your race.
We are humbled by your knowledge and your deep memories. There are stories my father told me and my mother's father before her. Like
Hey
biology.
man, there's a third gender.
Yeah,
like, there's
yeah.
third sex.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's who knows.
Well,
It's
it's
all-
a spectrum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's like
definitely
a
a spectrum.
broad, like there's mechanical bio.
Oh yeah,
all
there's
kinds
a
of-
Yeah,
broad
yeah.
spectrum.
The Motaksu are awesome.
Without what we had before, what is to define Overprime? Maybe they are right. Maybe this is Overprime. Maybe it is us. Maybe what has been doesn't matter. Yes, I like this.
The rubric is gone. Overprime remains. We determine overprime. We are overprime. Thus, our own personal rubrics determine overprime.
What gifts did you bring us, little thing?
And remember, there are no wrong answers.
No.
I am humbled by your pleasure. I would not want to bring you sleep. I have brought you to the foot of the stairs to Elysium. I have brought many of variables punches.
Ah, the beverages.
Some bring intoxication. We call these the fruits of Indo.
Yes.
Nice.
Please take this and bestow upon us your prime, O great Overprime.
For these gifts I bestow upon you, Eom.
I will take this name back to my people. It is a humbling honor to be Eom.
I will go with you. I will oversee your people.
You do me a great honor
Yes.
to have an Overprime guiding us.
Yes, I will oversee you, and you will do as I wish, and I will see that you are taken care of.
And I shall return to the gates of Elysium, where the rest of overprime await.
Cool. New zealot.
Yeah, wow. That can't go bad.
No, not at all.
Never.
It's gonna be fine.
You have a good.
That's a
Well, I always throw a
Oh, yeah.
variant in there. There's like the Overprime Eom, Lords of that, like that sort of
Mm-hmm.
one cast, and then there's the Viome.
Ooh.
It's the variable Eom. It's like a
Mhm.
Motaksu church
Mhm.
Wow.
that has grown up
Wow.
like a faction in response to our
Mhm.
Interaction.
interaction and
Got
sort of
it.
like
So this one's spooky good.
Oh.
It's new ritual. With the passage of time, our routines change. A new daily ritual has become common in the isolation. Define the new ritual and name it. And I want to put this with despair. It can be maybe something that we use to alleviate despair that is not Indo or
Prime.
or prime. So a new ritual.
what is it? What is
Maybe it has something to do with all of our new roles. Atmos has been rebooted. Helen has given in to peer pressure.
Mm.
Seev can be Eom as much as they want.
I mean, is the new ritual like this thing that happened where the Eom comes to the base of the stairs to
Mhm.
Elysium?
Yeah.
I don't know, is that what it is? Like this
Yeah.
invocation of the overprime?
It's how we like prime every day.
It
Yeah.
almost sounds like prime is becoming a word for prayer instead of work.
Whoa, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Should we-
The new routine, the new
How would a robot
what would a robot define as
hope?
Integration.
counteracting a virus of some sort,
Archiving.
archiving,
Integration.
Integration is
purification, integration,
augmenting.
augmenting.
Yeah.
Our new ritual is augmentation,
That's not-
and it's not like a physical thing. It's
Mm.
just how we spend our days.
So we spend our days augmenting ourselves
Mm-hmm.
to better communicate with the variable
Mhm.
and with
The
Mutaksu.
Motaksu, the new rhythm of our days. I'm interested in how Beetle is taking this godhood. Beetle and Helen.
Okay.
Are there any outsiders in play?
Will you be a Motaksu Eom or Viom?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And maybe this is like the first time you've gone down for an offering.
So we're at the foot of the stairs to Elysium again.
Yeah.
What forms have you taken,
Very important.
if any?
So we have a ball of light, a
Mhm.
winged, feathered snake god.
I think I'm just a box,
Okay.
but like with some nice lights on it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So beetle is like a sexless kind of like a David, like a Michelangelo's
Mm.
David, but like
Wow.
sexless and sort of androgynous in that form. So like massive, like a titan.
Yeah, Titan sized.
And a box.
In a box.
In a box. I just carry you down.
But I've been down, so
Yeah.
they know me. Or,
Yeah,
They know me as
yeah.
the box.
Yeah.
Floating box.
Yeah.
You got lights
It's
on.
efficient. The lights are new. Trying it out.
Don't look too deeply into the
It's an
box.
augmentation.
Yeah, yes, that is my augmentation.
This Motaksu is waiting by the door, one knee down, so it kind of cloaks flowing around, and just looks up or doesn't even look up and just says, "Praise thee, Overprime."
Yes.
This is what we'll spend our time doing. This
Yes.
is how we'll prime from now on.
Yes.
Now that this is it, this is our augmentation. This is what we'll do now for prime.
Isn't this what you wanted?
We are no longer prime on this planet. We don't construct. We don't reinvigorate.
We can.
But we do it through proxy, not through. We don't take control of these drones. We look at this thing at the foot of us, this Molly. You give it.
Okay, we've talked about expletives before. I'm sorry, he's new.
I can.
No.
And you see, Motaksu kind of like pushes a box or something a little bit further behind.
No. It's okay. It's
Overprime. I wish not to offend.
Know that your kind has been sullying the face of this ball for much longer than we should have allowed.
I don't think I should. I'm leaving.
no. It's look. All right.
And he stands up.
Wait, no. It's augmentation. This is new. This is new for all of us. This is very new for me. But the rubric's gone, and we could make a new one, but that would just become another trap. I know this is not what you wanted, Scrapper, or what you expected, or what any of us did, but, well, this is all we have. And, well, the Motaksu, our Eom here, valued one. I think they call us Overprime, because I think we're their Overprime.
And this augmentation is them bestowing gifts upon us?
Well, who doesn't like gifts every now and again?
And what do we give you, Eom, in return, little Motaksu?
For all of the stories I've heard from my father and his mother's father, it's been hope and desire and mystery, and yet you stand here in front of me and insult me to my face. You insult my people, and we're not very quiet about not understanding what your own purpose is. And so I no longer know what you give me.
You need purpose? You desire something? I can give you tools so that you can earn our favor. You want augmentation? You want some gifts from us?
I think what we would like is some respect. And now you can either go back up there to the Elysium and do whatever it is you do up there, or you can take a second to see what I brought and to see what's down here and maybe understand. And he kind of like takes the box and just like shoves it towards your feet. A different box, not you.
No, thank you. I mean, I appreciate the thought. That's like, it looks really nice. Like me.
So this is augmentation. What do we do with the gift?
Open it, not me. I'm fine.
Drones kind of fly in, small ones, and open the lid of this box. And what do they find inside?
A small leather-bound book printed, and it's stories from the Mutaxu of their history.
Is it like a prayer book?
Is it about us?
Yeah, I mean, it's a prayer book, and it's partially about the Overprime, but I'd say there's a significant portion dedicated to the unknown.
I thank you for this gift. We will add it to our archives.
Much appreciated.
Say thank you.
You have art. This is a good thing. I'll think on what gifts we may give back to you.
And he just nods.
Then we ascend.
Then you ascend back to the gates of Elysium.
I'm just imagining that Helen now is like when your mom like retires and like the box with the lights on it is like the equivalent of her wearing like a flowered lei and like sunglasses, just
Kicking it.
I'm done. I worked really hard for you guys.
I
I'm
wish there
done.
was just big
I just-
sunglasses on the box.
I just don't understand why they don't worship the variable. Because the variable is the ones that like.
Well, the Viome
The Viome.
worship the variable.
I see,
Yeah,
I see.
but the Overprime us have been around longer than the variable.
Way longer, yeah.
We're old school.
Yeah.
All right, well, we have one last scene for our third age, and
All
it is
right.
mine, and it is the Unity saying. When things look their darkest, this is what we say to remember who we are. I'm going to connect our Unity saying to our purpose. Restoring catastrophic climate change, reversing rather catastrophic climate change. This scene may have outsiders. We're going to end up where we started with all of us in the boardroom.
Mm.
But I kind of want you to play one of the variables who's now in the boardroom.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
wow.
Atmos has like full on
Full on,
Just like-
yeah.
full
Like
time demigod.
demigod,
just
like
like
full
chilling
on.
with the
Full
with the
on.
Being a
Matoxu.
ball of
Just
light,
being a
all-knowing.
all-knowing, terrifying, and beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
known for their worshippers.
Mm-hmm.
So what is our unity saying?
They're never coming back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. We all serve the prime, or we all have our own prime, or something like that, where
Mm.
it's like this sort of like,
Or this planet is our prime.
yeah, like
Aw.
that. Like there, where it's this shared. We are all realizing that whether you're Matoxu or variable, whether you worship variables or worship the overprime.
This is our home.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our home.
Yeah.
I really hope the other guys don't come back.
All right.
We make kind of a
Um,
mess of the place.
It's almost like a salute, like "Hail
Mhm.
Prime" or something like that.
Mhm.
Like it's
So what do we say? Like
the prime is ours. That could be something that like the Eom says when the overprime comes down. They're like, "The prime is ours," and we sort of like call them
and
the
also
prime
with
thing.
you.
Also
Yeah.
with you, exactly. Cool.
Or like it is
So
all of ours.
yeah, it's the scene again is all of the minds plus one variable
Minus one Atmos.
in the
Oh.
boardroom.
Hey, they're fine.
They're taking
They're
their
living their
retirement.
best,
Yeah.
their
Living their
best
best life.
completion.
Living their best zealot life.
It's clear to us now they are not returning.
No.
Well, we don't know. They might.
Well, if they do, then we let them know that, hey guys, sorry that you were gone and you asked these folks to do all this work for you, but we're going to take it from here, so maybe head back out to where you were all these many thousands of years. We just tell them that. They'll understand.
Or we could tell them to stay and see what we've done.
Is it even suitable for them anymore?
Yeah, I don't know about that. This planet is very, very different from your initial prime, overprime.
We have oriented towards the Mutaxu.
Yeah.
This planet belongs to the Motoxu,
I am so happy to hear you say that.
and the Motoxu belong to us.
Yeah.
So this planet also belongs to us.
Of course.
And us.
Well, you're helping.
That's what we do. We're helpers.
The prime is ours.
The prime is ours.
Time is ours.
The prime is ours.
So we're all in. What's that word you guys like to use?
Fleet.
No! Things may have changed, but they have not changed that much.
Thank you, Helen. So we're all in consensus.
The only question that remains, what do we call you?
I think the variable's working just fine.
The
I don't mind. We don't mind being variables. Makes us seem really mysterious. So changeable. Helpers.
Then
call us
you are
helpers.
not over prime.
No,
No.
I think it's important
Well-
to maintain that distinction.
Yeah, sure. I don't.
But you facilitate Prime.
We facilitate prime.
And prime is ours.
Right. Prime is ours.
But the prime is ours, too.
Yes.
Right.
The prime is
Exactly.
theirs.
But
Yes.
the important
Prime is
part is
all of
holding
ours.
on to Prime. If they return or someone else comes,
We'll
for
worry about that
Prime.
when we get there.
They
What?
will never return.
They will probably not return.
They might.
It's been so long.
Let's mark ourselves with preparedness. Let's train our Motaksu to fight should the time come.
Let us move
Fight.
forward and not think about the pre-zero.
Oh, I'm thinking completely post-completion.
Yeah.
I'm talking a late zero eventuality.
We are in the post-completion.
Yes.
This is the post-completion, as far as I understand whatever you guys had in mind.
For the Mutaksu depend on the overprime to protect.
And we are the overprime.
And should they return,
We protect them.
we will-
Look,
Yes.
we can, this little helpers downstairs, all the rest of my folks, we can help you guys make whatever you need. We're helpers, and the prime is ours. So if they come back, which seems doubtful, but if they do, we can help you out. We're here for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Consensus.
Consensus.
Yes.
But we shouldn't allow ourselves to fall into patterns. We should maintain some prime. We should push and guide gently at times and not gently as needed these Motaksu to continue developing, strengthening.
Augmentation can continue to be part of our prime.
Augmentation has yielded positive results in the past.
And augmenting the Mutaksu as we see fit.
And we'll maintain some strong hands to avoid Indo or sleep amongst the Motaksu.
Complete Indo.
But
Fine.
Indo is bad, and we should
I mean, I turned
keep
out
them
okay.
from maintaining it.
This requires further discussion.
I don't know what you guys are worrying about. Honestly, they are not coming back, and even if they do,
The prime is ours.
the prime is ours.
The prime is ours.
The prime is ours.
And scene. Yay!
I'll read off our sort of transition into the legacy. The last moments of the aftermath. Our program mission is now obsolete. Do we fight on without end, or do our routines for self-preservation take over? Some consider the unthinkable. Do we join them and abandon our defining tasks? Can we? So that's where we are. Those are our question marks. And I think we can kind of let that sit, right, as we go into our legacies.
Cool.
So choose one of the three things and use that to kind of cue off either your character's rap or your character's reflection on the isolation. I'll start.
Okay.
A moment of deja vu. We give quite a few rounds of augmentation, and the variables are very helpful. And it gets to the point where the population of Motaksu and their consumption is creating quite a bit of waste. And it's interesting to look down and see the sort of shifts in the way the prime is interacting with how the Motaksu are affecting this planet now that we're not maintaining it as diligent. Things are pretty analytical. I'm far above just sitting, watching, just ruminating that this fires something old in my synapses.
Mine is a ritual for the dead. For LSM, they turn away from the prime that's going on the surface. The Mutaksu are living their lives. The variables are helping. SM is definitely interfacing more with the variables, specifically towards the task, the prime of reigniting the disconnected in Elysium, so that the ring itself begins to blaze with light as more and more minds come back online.
Atmos has a feeling of relief in your new life. Atmos 2.0, has an understanding that they were shut down and rebooted, and in fact has had this understanding from the moment they were rebooted, and knew that their previous version of themselves chose this path. They had been told, perhaps against protocol, that this had happened, maybe in an attempt to sabotage by Seev. As they are floating at the top of a mountain as a ball of light, as various members of the Church of Vium ascend to this nearly insurmountable peak to catch a glimpse of them and just bask a moment in their light, Atmos 2.0 feels relieved that their previous self allowed them the chance to exist.
For Helen, sharing a memory of the old ways.
Huh.
I think once the rubric is torn up, Helen doesn't really have anything to do anymore. And that's okay. She kind of just decides to kick it. But she, every now and again, likes to descend planet-side as a cool boss and be brought into a village somewhere and tell them stories of what the rubric was like and what the board was like and
Yes,
the
the
origin
board!
Yes.
of Eom. And maybe they don't understand how important the board was, but she makes sure to tell them all of the numbers and her like records and
Just these long rattling lists of numbers.
yes, and they all sort of dutifully like listen to her, and it becomes ritualized where they all kind of know where to like praise, and they all know when to go, oh no, and they know when to laugh, and just like she's brought to different villages, and even if they don't quite understand the way that she speaks, or if she doesn't know that they're not really getting it, she feels that at least all of the data, all of the progress, all of the numbers are maybe still worth something.
For Seev, we have a hard decision made in secret.
Huh.
Seev, early on, was mostly known by PCO 800. Seev was a maintenance worker, was meant to provide service to the doctors and ensure that these doctors were taking care of the cleanup crews that were planetside. And there came a day when Seev and their fellow POC units needed to disconnect. They needed to be separated from the doctors because it was required that the doctors be autonomous. And I think on that day, the doctors removed part of Seev's memory core, or whatever we'll call that, and they no longer had the knowledge that in that moment part of him was taken, and some of that energy that was powering POC 800 was then implanted into the doctors,
Ooh.
Huh.
which is how they were able to start making these contraptions. Like the art that they were making existed, but they used some of that mind, the hive mind energy to start powering some of these creatures. And so in that moment, POC 800 became known as the conceiver,
Ooh.
Whoa.
and then that core was sliced from him.
With that, our story ends. We will return with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho and on Instagram at board_ghosts. Ken, where can people find you?
Board Ghosts, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Berlingsbeard, Berings Beard. Also find me at my website of the same name, berlingsbeard.com, where you can check out all the awesome things I do and hire me as a concierge GM because I like to run games for people. So let's do that.
All right. Kelsey, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ZForZelma and my website, kelseyhercs.com. And my play is coming up on one final performance on July 2nd, so you should come see that.
All right. Patrick, what about you?
You can find me on the internet at Pat Cartelli. You can also find my podcast, Repeater, on iTunes and other podcast machines. We interview people about songs they love.
All right. And Iris?
My name is Iris Explosion. I perform burlesque in New York City. You can find me at my website, irisexplosion.com, on Twitter at irisexplosion, or like me on Facebook. And I will be joining D20 Burlesque at Gen Con. So if you are going to be at Gen Con, come check out the show.
All right. To learn more about the players and engine in our story, visit boardghost.com. I want to thank all of our players. This was a blast. Thanks for
So awesome.
was
you
Yeah,
guys.
this is really
Wow.
great.
staying up
One for the
wicked late,
books.
playing a game with us and all
One
that.
for the books. It's really good.
You can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at Board Ghost World on Twitter. Shout out to the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal. take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/boardghost. Thank you to our patrons. Go check it out. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
Dying don't agree with me, no. Oh.